Hello everyone, I'm putting this up here just to show YouTube that I am operating within the guidelines of fair use, which allows to use segments of material I do not own the rights for in order to criticize and express an opinion. Just as any democratic, free speech supporting platform would do. I'm not going to make any money out of this, and everything I upload here will be for the sole purpose of reviewing, critique, and expressing opinions about what's going on and what went on the. In this video, I would like to point out a few things that have been coming up in the recent videos uploaded by Andrea. Some of them have to do with Abigail, and some of them have to do with Andrea's most recent attempts to convince us that the children hang out with a lot of other children, that they have friends. All this, vague and blurry and unclear information about the children and their friends and the school that they are going to and visiting, which is totally unbased, and there is absolutely no evidence whatsoever. Plus, I think it's important to show how she contradicts herself when it comes to this issue, because there is a reason why Andrea is trying to portray their life as if the kids have friends and hang out with other people. And we need to address this. And of course, everything here will be based only on my conclusions after watching a lot of these videos. So, let's start.
What are you learning about?
I'm learning about Pledge of Allowance.
Me without looking at it, what happens next then?
He wants.
So this video is very, very recent. Obviously, we see Abigail sitting in front of the computer and learning. This is not because she's a very inquisitive child. This is because they have been carrying on with this homeschooling issue for a few years now. And it is clear, and they have talked about it so many times, that they are homeschooling the children. So there is a lot of evidence. I can bring a few more videos into here if you like, but we know that they are homeschooled, and there is no going to school and no meeting other children while homeschooling. Actually, most of the time they show the kids talking to their teacher over the phone, over the cell phone, not even in front of the computer. So that's number one.
My kids have friends. Everybody keeps saying, oh, they're not going to have any friends. Yes, they do. They have groups that they go to, and they go to school. So they have friends.
That body language, guys, that body language. Andrea, when you talk about your kids having friends, could you even look straight into the camera for more than a tenth of a second? That face you make at the end, you know you're joking, you know you're lying, and that is my opinion. When we make jokes, when we make these faces, we stick our tongue out, it's supposed to be funny. We're fooling someone. When we fool someone or when we say something stupid, that's exactly the face we make. So I don't think that is a coincidence. I think that is your body saying the truth while your mouth is not. This is my opinion. Now, you talk about your kids going to groups. Which groups? Where are they? Who do they consist of? You talk about them going to school. I've already proved that there is no physical school. And simply judging by your entire channel, deciding one day that you will not film anything, not taking the kids to school, not letting them go on the bus, not picking them up from school, not showing them around other children. You can film the backs of the kids like you do all the time when you're in public places. You can blur out their faces, you can, Kids visiting your house when your kids talking about their friends. Never ever, never ever. You have an 11-year-old boy who never talks about any friend. You have a 6-year-old girl who never mentions one friend. Never ever. That is, it's just, and if you go by your MO throughout this whole channel was to film everything. So to decide not to film anything concerning a certain matter, that is so way out of your baseline behavior that I just cannot believe it. I personally cannot believe it. And exactly like your last statement that you made with the face at the end that you see here on the screen, I agree with that face. You're just fooling. You're just fooling us. You're trying to. That is not real, what you're saying. This is my personal opinion. Now, let's move on. Let's talk about the empty parks the kids are always taken to play, completely deserted, and the vanishing friends, which means that those friends are mentioned but somehow are never seen. They have this ability to, merge into the background. Very, very strange. So let's start with the empty parks. Now, I'm not going to bring a lot of footage up here of empty parks. If you watch this channel, you know that the kids are always taken to play in places where there are no other kids or no other people. If there are kids, then the children are told to keep away from people because of the virus. And you can see that in their behavior. Kids are playing. Raphael and Abigail always try to find a place that is deserted, that has less people in it. So, but this is clear. They are, at least Raphael is frightened to death. And I've shown this in former videos of mine. Just go and watch. Yeah. So let's watch one example, shall we?
I think everybody's having lunch right now, so they're not coming over, but they were playing a minute ago.
Well, that is very interesting. So, clear that there are very few children there. The kids are playing alone. Raphael is hanging on that swing on his own. He looks very lonely. Abigail, of course, is on that round thing. Her father, as usual, hovering over her. And then Andrea feels the need to say, everybody's having lunch over there, and the camera goes, and there is nothing there. It's an empty space. And again, everybody's having lunch. Okay, so I'm trying to understand. Let's try to make sense of this sentence and try to imagine this situation. So all of us have taken children to playgrounds, right? We arrive and the children play. So what is happening in this specific playground? What is going on here? So there comes a certain time where all the parents at the same time gather their children and run somewhere to have their lunch, and the park is left completely deserted. I'm not getting this. And then what? They come back all together as a group? And why does the Lunsford Friedman family decide to stay there all alone while all the other parents and all the other children are gathered together at some mysterious lunch eating point that they all decide upon on the same moment? I don't get it.
Yeah, that's where they make all their friends.
Glorious hair. Okay, friends are over. I don't know.
Okay, and let's focus on this very specific scene. So first of all, Hadar says, yeah, that's where they make all their friends. Oh, so they make all their friends in the playgrounds, not at school. Because there is a contradiction here, right? Not in the groups that they go to, not at school where they're supposed to be going to, but at the playground. Okay, let's talk about the second thing here. I want you to notice what happens when this girl runs into the frame. Andrea says, okay, friends are here. But let's take a closer look at this. So Andrea decides to move the camera and say the friends are here when this child running, wearing the pink outfit, she runs into the frame. And that is the moment where Andrea says, oh, the friends are here, and she sways the camera away. Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that this girl is running in an entirely different direction. Abigail is not even looking at her. The child is not turning her body into this direction, and it is clear that you'll see that the child is not showing any sign of coming towards Andrea or the kids. She continues to run straight onwards. I don't think there's any friends coming, Andrea. I really don't. Plus, the next scene is, again, the kids alone on that wheel and their father hovering over and spinning them. So what are you talking about here? And that is the exact point where you ended your former clip. So that happened exactly the moment that you were talking about the friends are coming. You see Raphael and his father going to that wheel, and the next thing you know, cut, and they're all on the wheel spinning. Where's the other child then? Where did it disappear to? This imaginary friend. Actually, judging by the picture, there are no friends there. There are no children except the one on the swing, so they all vanished mysteriously just 1 second after they were, quote, friends are coming. Well, so number 4 is how Andrea uses the word school trip or school field trip in titles of her video to give the impression to us, the viewers, that we're talking about some kind of joint school activity. But in reality, when we actually watch the videos, there are zero signs that this is a school activity, a real school, a physical school activity. There are no classmates. The kids are isolated. They're around their parents constantly. They're wearing masks. They don't talk to anyone. They don't communicate in any way with anyone. The children are strangers to other children. There is no anything. There's nothing that shows any signs of class activity. There's no teachers around, nor assistant teachers. There's nothing. It's just the two kids with their parents, probably the only ones wearing masks as well, and they are just roaming from station to station on these trips without any sign of a school, so-called school, physical school interaction. And that is, to me, also a way of fooling people into thinking that we're talking about a real, active, physical school that the kids are going to and attending. It is very clear that they are not. They're not doing anything of the sort on these field trips. So, to me, that's another proof that this isn't real. This issue is not real. And I also want to talk about the birthdays. So we've been watching this channel. We've been watching the kids grow. Abigail has had 6 birthdays. Raphael has had 10 birthdays. 11? No, 10. And in none of these birthday parties, do you see any children. Actually, they don't even talk about being with children. They do not have anything to do with other children. So if you have children, if you have kids, you know that at these ages, having friends over for birthdays is pretty important. Or going out to a park or somewhere with other kids from your class or from your neighborhood and having some fun times. There is nothing of the sort. These kids have had all their birthdays with only their parents or their grandparents, or one grandparent, it depends. Sometimes the half-brother comes to visit, But usually that's all. They get their gifts and presents from strangers, from online fans of this family, sending them gifts by mail, or from, from the parents or the grandparents. There are not even any gifts from other children. Nothing. Nothing. No cards. Nothing. I believe that kids who have friends will have birthday parties of some sort. But not a friend in sight for all these years on a birthday party? How lonely is that? How sad is that? In my opinion, again, for these kids. Again, to me, personally, another proof. There are no friends. They are isolated from the world. Now, I could go on and on and on with this video, but I do not want to make it too long. I hope I was able to convey my message to you. And I'm not here to change your mind. I'm just here to show you the other side of things that I see, because that is my opinion. And I'm not, all I want is that for these kids to have a good life, to have friends, to have a normal life. And I also would be very happy to see Andrea happy, because a happy mother will reflect on a happy child. That's my opinion.